Welcome back, 0 to 60. Brewmaestus, Matt McChesney. Matt,
Monday.
how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
It is Monday.
It is Monday.
Thanks for reminding me.
It's Super Bowl week. Great week.
It is a great week. I'm
And
excited.
then we go to purgatory and there's no football for 6 months. And that sucks, but it's okay.
Okay. What fills the time between Super Bowl and training camp?
Well, Andre Duke's got an idea. This could fill the time. Well, Chicago backhand. No. The Nugs and the Avs are both good here in Denver, so that'll fill some of the time. But, draft coverage and the offseason's always fun to talk about all-time greats. We're talking about the Pro Bowl today or the lack thereof. And on Coach JB's show this morning, just talking about where Mahomes fits on like the Mount Rushmore of multiple Super Bowl winners.
You were trying to convince me not too long ago that Patrick Mahomes was in the same ranking as Tom Brady.
Okay, but so let's talk about rankings. Look, Tom Brady's obviously the number one player and quarterback of all time. No one's debating that. Could Mahomes catch him? If anybody can, he can. All right. But at the same time, we've seen other quarterbacks come into the league. Troy Aikman did it, came in, won 3 Super Bowls, played for 12 years, didn't really go back, to the same kind of prominence, although they made the playoffs a couple times. I think Patrick Mahomes is special. Now, Coach JB hates that and doesn't think he can play at all. I think you respect the greatness of him, right? Like you understand what you're looking at.
Sure. Although I think a lot of it is painted with, and I've got orange colored glasses on half the time. So when I'm having a conversation with Patrick Mahomes and we want to talk about the bare bones, what he's been able to achieve in 6 years starting in the league, it's really hard to deny. It would be haterade if I was just like, yeah, hasn't really done enough to convince me. But I'm just.
It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it's.
The NFL is a lot of what have you done for me lately? So I would just caution that before anyone starts throwing his name on the best to ever do it, that we see how the rest of his career plays out. He'll still be up there, obviously, but I agree with JB that he shouldn't be carved into the side of the Mount Rushmore for anyone. Also, I hate that too, because you have to separate eras in football. You can't compare 30 years ago to today.
It's the same game.
It's
just
not
a little
the
bit
same
more
game.
Physical back then.
No, the game has been in the last, decade, started to adapt and evolve where it's passer happy. It's all about the quarterback. There's a lot of what defenses and secondaries can't do because you have to protect players. So the game has changed.
The game may have changed from a rules perspective. That's true. But do you think a guy like Roger Staubach, I know that he's in the 70s and you got to go back on Google and watch him, but you think he could play in today's era? Because I do. I think Mahomes could go back to that era and thrive because they're just good football players. Roger Staubach would kill it in this era. Like, it was the original scrambling, mad, happy quarterback. He was what Mahomes is. He revolutionized the position.
But you're talking about a player who played outside the means of what was expected out of the quarterback position in that era. So
isn't Mahomes doing that now too?
Yeah, but I think that if you took like a I don't even know who to throw in that. But if you took a non-pocket passing quarterback and tried to throw them into the 70s football, I just fail to see how a lot of that would align. But I don't know. It is
Look, they played within the structure of the offense back then. Very few teams had offensive coordinators. Like, a lot of those quarterbacks called their own offenses at the line. So, you make a good point that there's a lot of change. Obviously, I think it's gotten easier to play the position because of the rules and the fact that there's offensive coordinators now and stuff compared to some of the 70s teams. Terry Bradshaw called his own offense a lot of times. So, look,
I just want to point out I wasn't even alive in the 70s, so it's a moot point to have.
I'm not even that old. Okay. I'm going to start talking shit. All right, look, the eras are important, obviously. That's what the game is built on. The history of the NFL, the history of football is so important to football and all sports, just because it's what you compare yourself to. I think Mahomes is great. I watch him and I see a guy who can elevate regardless of stats. And his stats are there. He's won this year with Nobody other than Kelsey and Pacheco, who is a 7th rounder and came out of, and took the job from a first rounders and Edwards-Helaire. The Rice kid is a rookie. A lot of the guys last year that were prevalent in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, Kadarius Toney, he's, pretty much dummied his way out of the lineup. You don't get to play anymore if you can't line up offsides, Demi. So, he does it with just guys. And that is very Brady-esque. He had an elite player in Tyreek Hill. Brady had an elite player in Randy Moss, but they never won Super Bowls with Randy Moss or Wes Welker. Those teams didn't win Super Bowls. Brady won with David Patton and Troy Brown and shit, and just an array of different players at that position. So Deion Branch. So those guys aren't elite talents, but they were perfect for the system. And Mahomes just elevates everybody, and I'll tell you this: if he's winning 3 out of 4, and he's got 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, and no offense to everybody, but I don't think the Chiefs are going to slow down. The division they play in, they're definitely winning that division next year. Harbaugh is going to have a year or 2 to get that team right. The Raiders, we'll see what they do under Pierce. They need a quarterback. And, Baba Yaga can only do so much. And then the Broncos, we'll see what they do, but they're in rebuild mode. They're not I have no faith in the Broncos to make the playoffs next year. I mean, give me a break. So they're going to win the division again next year. They're going to have a home playoff game again next year. It's not unless he gets hurt, it's not as if he's not going to destroy the AFC West for years to come. So I guess my thing is, at what point is everybody okay with him being on the Mount Rushmore? Because
I think you don't decide that until the end of your career.
Okay, well then there's a benchmark. When his career's over,
yes,
then we can decide if he should be on the Mount Rushmore.
You have to take a whole picture of it. Otherwise,
that means we can't talk about him in relation.
Otherwise, you're throwing Joe Flacco.
15 years.
I'm not the one who brought it up. It was all I had to listen to this morning.
Well, yeah, but Patrick Mahomes and the way that he plays is revolutionizing the game, and it's making people want to try and find that guy in front offices. Kids want to be 15. That's just the way it is.
Is it sustainable, though? Because we've seen that hypermobile quarterbacks like that are not able to.
He's mobile in the pocket. He's not necessarily a run-first guy. He's made some great runs. But, if you look at – I love the NFL top 10 lists. I can literally watch that all fucking day if you put it on all day. I just record all of them that I can. I love watching them. And it's essentially just history of the game. And they have the top 10 mobile quarterbacks of all time. And number 10 on that fucking list, okay, is Dan Marino. All right? Now, Dan Marino, you wouldn't think as a mobile quarterback at all. He was a statue. But he manipulated the pocket with his feet, how he climbed the pocket and everything he did. He revolutionized the way the pocket was manipulated for quarterbacks.
He was a play extender. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what
Mahomes is, the ultimate play extender. So, I don't know. I'm excited to watch the Super Bowl. I'm praying to the God of skinny fucking punks this San Francisco wins this game, and we'll make our predictions as the week goes on. On Wednesday, we got Eric Weddle on, who's a Super Bowl champion. On Thursday, we've got Coach Bill Beatenbaugh from Oklahoma, who is, in my opinion, the best offensive line coach in college football. He's going to be on and talk about Creed Humphreys and Trent Williams, both Oklahoma guys playing in the Super Bowl. He's got Josh Bates at his, on his offensive line out there, who's proud Dungeon family. So there's a lot of pride in there, and those guys getting to play on opposite sides. And then we're trying to get Mike Pennell on this week. Mike played at Grandview. His proud Dungeon family back in the Super Bowl with Kansas City after re-signing with them. So he'll be on. And then I got to mention this, but Ryan Jensen just retired. As we get into the Pro Bowl, he made a Pro Bowl in his career, just retired after 12, 13 years. Watching the video that he posted of his pro day, and I'm out there holding the bag as he's running through it. Now the baby face Ryan Jensen, and now, over $100 million in earnings and a Super Bowl trophy and Tom Brady's best friend and all this other bullshit. That's why we grind. So it's pretty cool to have Ryan on this week as well, who's also won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. So we'll have him on to talk about his career and everything else at some point this week as well. So we've got a lot of shit going on this week, so just to say the least. I want to talk about the Pro Bowl though.
Can I do something real quick though? Because I forgot.
Do whatever you want. I think we've already established that.
That is how this ship runs. I gotta get to our title sponsor because I didn't throw it there at the top of the show because we were having a good conversation. But obviously sponsored by BetOnline. It's playoff time. The usual suspects are heading to Vegas for the championship. Our partner BetOnline is your number one source for football odds, stats, trends, and lines with everything from point spreads to hundreds of bets on everything from the coin toss to the color of Gatorade. I want to get that bet in by the end of this week. So we need to make those bets. BetOnline is the number one source for your championship wagering. Head on to BetOnline, join today, get in on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. Matt wants to talk about the Pro Bowl, which I think is hilarious because I don't even know for how long he's been shitting on this competition, that it's a bad thing for football and the NFL is shameful for having the Pro Bowl be tug of war and flat. Honestly, I'm surprised shameful did not come out of your mouth, but you have been very stubborn in the idea that anything outside of what the traditional Pro Bowl used to look like was a waste of everyone's time. And I kid you not, it was the topic of conversation all day until the game started. And I've seen this man smile and enjoy flag football. So go ahead and
all right, look. Was the flag football part, I guess if it's on, yeah, it was on, and we did watch it, and it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. But at the same time, I know I'm going to sound so old when I say that. I revert back to watching the Pro Bowl when it actually meant something and guys played. And I don't ever remember anybody really getting that hurt. I remember Robert Edwards getting hurt playing beach football.
Well, you didn't even allow me to have my objection to that. Is that why would you put yourself out there playing a competitive game on the off season?
Didn't they just? I mean, you told me yesterday the winner makes how much money for that bullshit?
$88,000.
$88,000 to do tug of war.
Not
I know
only
these guys don't
need
need $88,000, but I mean,
it's a bonus for making the Pro Bowl.
It's pretty cool. I mean, you want to win, the other and the losers get 44.
Yeah. And
well, I mean, you want me to get behind this? Like everybody wants fat guys to get behind fucking fantasy football. And the centers out there couldn't even pick up blitzers because they can't do anything but snap and stand there. That sucks. That sucks, man.
It's not that. It's not.
No, like the big guys are doing tug of war and shit. It's cute. In between quarters.
I wonder what the rules are if you could like turn and just catch a pass.
What, the center?
Yeah, after snapping the ball.
I mean, when you run down the field, if he's behind the ball, can you pitch it to him?
I don't see why not.
Cool, but it's just like fantasy football to me. I can't get with it because there's no big guys on the fucking field.
I know, but it's not like if that's your one thing that you're upset about.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm a large person. So large people that play this game, I guess they don't need us. In fantasy football, you don't need us.
They needed you for the pull. They needed you for the pull the wall event during the skills competition where you had to take all the weights off so that you could pull the wall. Like you were needed in certain instances, but you're not needed to play flag football. That's why they created the skills competition so that you could still be the strongest guy on the field. Like
yeah, but there is no victory without trench. And in the Pro Bowl, you can't show moving weights does not make you a good football player. It just doesn't.
But that's not what the Pro Bowl is about.
That's what it used to be about, good on good and guys playing hard. I miss those days where like guys play football. I just missed it.
They're playing it for 17 games a season, regular season now. They don't need to play the Pro Bowl.
They didn't need to play the Pro Bowl back then. They were playing a 16-game regular season.
Things change, Matt. I think everything evolves
everything gets
to
softer,
the point.
That's for damn
it's
sure.
Not softer. Think about all
soft.
the. Why do you think they
Capital T, soft.
Wait a second. Why do you think they've made like the Nickelodeon show and the
Because
skills
they like appeasing the fucking kiddies. That's
it's
why.
not appeasing the kids. The only way that this sport continues to have a fan base is making sure that you're creating fans of the future. It's the same way when people say, it'll always be around, because that's just how it is. It's America's team. It's not going to be if you don't actually try to get people interested in the sport.
You can do both, though. You can do all this corny bullshit and play the game. There's so many skills competitions at the Pro Bowl that you watch all these highlights on back in the day, the quarterbacks and the fucking target competition and all this other bull. Larry Allen doing fucking 44 reps on 225. They did all that back in the day, and they played a football game because they're football players, and that's what they get paid to do. So it amazes me that like people are okay with it. I want to see Lane Johnson blocking Myles Garrett in the Pro Bowl. That would be dope. I want to see good on good. I want to see guys actually go out there and compete a little bit. Are you going to get hurt? You get fucking hurt doing anything, man. I mean, I got hurt more off the field than I did on the field. Air conditioners dropped on me and shit, and got ran over by golf carts, and like fucking a mosquito took me out. So shit happens. I wish that there was a more competitive game other than this rinky-dink, flag football game. That it's entertaining, I guess. The Manning brothers were funny. Ray Lewis trying to act like you can play defense in the flag football game was kind of funny.
I think you can. I think you can play football. I think you can play. That's the whole idea of making flag football a bigger deal is because the NFL sanction. It is. It's an Olympic sport, and it's being integrated into high schools and colleges, and it's been more than just an intramural sport. Flag football becoming something bigger is not going to replace the NFL. Can we
figure out a way to get the fat guys involved in, please?
God, strap on some fucking flags and get it done.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Can we get the fat people involved in the game?
You can't touch anybody. You can't tackle anybody.
That's fine, but there's some good. I mean, fuck, man. Can we get involved? Can we go like line up one of the offensive linemen at tight end and let him run some routes? You don't have to throw him the ball. Just give him the illusion that he's out there and like gives like the defensive linemen all think that they can play offensive skill positions, guaranteed. So why can't they go out and catch some passes?
There is no reasonable running back who is like, put me on the line. I got this. Like, that's not a real thing. There's positions that you're just better at. And I think that you have to understand where your strengths are and what's going to be asked of you. In flag football, there is only the guy who snaps the ball. You can't recreate the sport.
As somebody who played all-time center forever, okay, I wanted to be involved. If we go play in one of these fucking flag football games that you guys play in where you blew out your ankle, okay?
I don't like to talk about that.
When we go play and Mario thinks he can like fucking stiff arm somebody, he'll get ran over. All I have to do is just play all-time center because I can't play any other positions because I might hit somebody. I might hit someone, so you can't play other positions.
You've been told that you were more than welcome to put flags on and play, but we can't trust that you won't annihilate somebody.
I can't help the fact if muscle memory takes over and we don't have the jab away some motherfucker.
We don't have the liability for that.
Well, that sucks. Everybody's got to sign a waiver if I'm going to play. Well, that you can't sue me if I break your teeth.
Goodness.
Well, I want to be on your team, and you want me on your team. You need me on your team. You want me in your alley. You don't want to be the guy walking down the alley.
Why do you think I'm where I'm at? Daniel over on YouTube. Daniel Turbo Quiznos. Do you remember those Quiznos ads that had those creepy little like squirrel, guinea pig, hamster looking things?
Ugly bastards.
They're cute.
Yeah, you would think they're cute. You love ugly stuff.
Anyway, Daniel says, just goes to show you, even less people in this world are built for them trenches. Listen, if I had to block anybody, I think I could honestly get a couple.
Got blocked?
I have Olayed somebody. I know where my balance is. I know where my center of gravity is.
Motherfucker at a zombie show.
I'm really strong for like my frame, and I've got a low center of gravity. So like, yeah, I think but not a full grown man. If I try to take Matt out, I have to hack him at the ankles. So
well, I mean, the perfect level. I don't even have to really do. I can just slap an ear hole on you, and you're out of the way. So
wait, is that a blow to the side of the head?
I would be going for a shoulder on a dude, but your shoulder level is ear level, so right there, and you're out of the way. And then who plays all-time quarterback? Do you play quarterback? Who plays quarterback?
Mario.
Where's Ferg going to play? Because Ferg doesn't all-time. What, he doesn't want to play?
Ferg doesn't play with us. No, he knows better.
Because he'll run somebody's ass over. Because the muscle memory will take over, and he'll kill some poor bastard. Okay. It's like flag football's fun until you play with people that play football. That's my point. I don't know, man.
Can you sling the ball still? Like, we'll just put you.
I can't even look left. You don't want me to throw. No, I don't get to play. I don't want to do it.
Andre Duke has a question that I think is interesting because the answer is intriguing me as well. Does Matt have any fashion tips for spring coming?
Fashion tips? I wear the same t-shirt like every day, bro. I wear black on black. I have the same short. Yeah. Here's a tip. Don't ask me for fashion tips. No, I don't know what. I don't know.
I thought it was really fun. He's been really active in the chat. Ooh.
Ugh,
not for the spring. That's more of a summer thing. I don't know if you caught Broncos Country Tonight the other night, but Ferg was talking about laundry and how separating things out, and because I wear all black, and you can't mix black tones because the hoodie will get kind of like, I don't know,
off black.
It'll be off black, and then you put it with like black pants, and it's not the same black, and then you look funny. Like you got it. There's black tones you have to adhere to. And I said, we were talking about laundry, and I said, well, I don't own any colors, so I just throw everything into the wash and everything into the dryer. And that started a conversation I was not anticipating, in which I was thoughtfully and dutifully judged on Twitter because of it. Now, there were some people who came to my defense and said, yeah, I do the same thing. But also the idea that I need to separate my black clothing and then not dry it. Well, yeah, like separate.
And that's the key. You should hang dry your black because then it won't fade. I know somebody that hang dries everything because
you still have to put it. You still have to fluff it.
The dryer's a fucking luxury that you don't need.
You have to hang up a clothesline then and act like you're on Little House on the Prairie.
Well, then that's the way it gets done. But I'm just saying, if your dryer breaks, it's not the end of the fucking world.
It is like 12 degrees outside. I think it is the end of the world.
Man, it's gonna freeze out there, If you hang outside during the winter, then you're just a dumbass.
The dryer's not a myth.
It's not a fucking necessity.
How the fuck do you dry towels then?
Hang dry.
Okay,
then they're nice and bristly.
Made out of cheese graters.
Well, you just buy new ones. You just have the same on Amazon. You just buy new towels and throw the old ones away.
They're single-use towels.
Yeah, there you go. Single-use towels. Perfect.
We've covered a lot of sports on this show.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what the Pro Bowl brings you. Nothing to talk about. It was horse shit.
No, it was fun.
It was cool, I guess.
It was entertaining. It was in a way that was new to what you're used to watching.
Players, blah, 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 blah.
Well, with everyone being upset that,
God. What's everybody upset about?
Well, everyone's upset that there's no football on, and so the idea. Yeah, but there was no football on, and now you get to look forward to the Super Bowl. It's the whole reason there's 2 weeks in between, is so that you can build up some anticipation. You can't have immediate, you don't get your needs met immediately. You have to wait for it.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I don't dig the whole waiting for shit. I just want it now. But that's okay. I'll wait till Sunday. Are you excited about the UFL? The combo of the XFL and the USFL? I'm kind of pumped about it. I think could be cool.
I love the idea that the USFL and the XFL existed as a funneling system for the NFL, because a lot of guys were able to get second chances from that. Also, second chances from those who were no longer able to play in the league were able to go to the USFL and the XFL. My only thing with that is I felt that the merger was handled in a very rushed way. It was kind of done out of necessity, right? You're going into bankruptcy for a second time.
Both of them are failing.
Well, and failing is a harsh term. I think the idea is that it's almost there. It's almost to the precipice that it needs to be in order to be successful. But they had to make some exceptions. So a lot of people lost their jobs. There's not all of the teams that were going to exist. It's not like they combined them all and kept everybody. So I'm a little upset that it had to work out that way, but I think it's going to be the best for the league. Both of them shouldn't have tried to roll out at the same time. They should have done this to begin with, but in a money-hungry atmosphere of capitalism and competition, it seemed like the first one to get there was going to win. I'm glad that they combined them. I'm a big fan of The Rock, so anything he's involved in, I'm going to try to support as best as possible until something weird comes out about him, and then I'll stop. But...
Yeah. Nothing weird ever comes out about people that wrestle or have anything involved with that. Just saying.
Don't want to talk. Well, listen, shit happens.
What happened? I guess you could say that's some shit.
They sold the company, so that's good.
Yeah.
McMahon's no longer a part of that. And we knew it was creepy because if you grew up in the Attitude Era, you're not shocked or surprised. So I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna go down that road.
I don't want to go down that road. I can't imagine what I'll have to censor. I might have to just be hovering over the end stream button, and I think that I'm okay with that.
Shit, man.
I'm okay if we pivot off of that entirely.
Now, I'll tell you this. I am super excited about tonight. My son's turning 14. Okay. It's his first concert ever, and I'm taking him to see Tool, and just the big guy and Biggie. And I'm so fucking excited. I don't know what to do with myself. I really don't know what to do. Like, I just want to go to sleep until I can wake up and go rock the fucking house. And then on Friday, we get to go rock the house again. Crosses is in town, so that's going to be a great fucking show.
Listen, music's important to this family, yes, so that's what we do.
That's true.
Best Tool song.
Enema, 100%. Learn to swim, motherfucker.
All right. That'll be a good time.
Can't wait. Let's go.
What does the rest of the week look like?
All right. So tomorrow, trying to get Jensen or Mike on tomorrow. Okay. We'll see how that works out. I'll be posting on social media, giving updates. Wednesday, we've got Eric Weddle, Super Bowl champion, a good friend of mine. Thursday is offensive line coach for Oklahoma Sooners, the best in the business. Coach Bill Beatonbaugh is going to be on the show. Creed Humphreys, Trent Williams, both starting opposite each other in the Super Bowl. So talk about his guys and just, offensive line play in general. So we've got a huge week. And on Friday, we've got some other guests that may be coming on. I'm still trying to get some people lined up. So we'll see. As
a producer of this show, not knowing and figuring out right here live on Monday is always my favorite part of the week.
Yeah, that's how we roll. I love preparation.
You're just the most prepared guy there is.
Well,
lots of planning.
I can't help it. I only have to listen to something once and then I remember it. So I don't really take notes and prep and shit. I just kind of sit down and hit play and start talking. So
you remember shit, huh?
Well, it depends. It totally depends. There's certain things I can remember well, and then there's certain things that I think I choose to forget.
There you go. Selective memory.
There's selective hearing, selective memory. These are things that most 42-year-old men possess.
Well, listen, before we start airing our therapy on the internet, so I'll go ahead and log us off for today. But Matt will be back.
Let's have feelings time.
That doesn't exist, remember?
Yeah, there are no feelings.
No, dead inside.
Feelings are a fucking myth.
We'll be covering the Super Bowl and many other things the rest of this week. It'll be a fun lineup. You never know what's going to happen here on 0 to 60. We're sponsored by Bet Online. And I don't know what Matt's doing, but it looks like he's picked up some kayaking skills during the time off. So would you row? They'd have to put you in the back, I think, right?
Well, yeah.
Like as the
you
strength.
Don't put me in the front of the fucking rowboat. You need somebody in the back to anchor that bitch. You put me in the front. We're the last of the Mohicans. We're definitely they're catching us quick.
The rowboat.
Oh,
is it a rowboat? Yeah, it's a rowboat. It's not kayak. Don't try to.
Well, you can row. You row in a kayak.
Thanks for that lesson, Captain Obvious. I think that
it's not a rowboat.
No, if you're in competition, you'd be on a rowboat.
Well, just because you row on other boats, though.
You row on all. Just because you row on a boat doesn't make it a rowboat. but I think
But
we were talking about.
if you are rowing, then I guess it is a rowboat.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? That's totally contradictory.
A rowboat could be
If you're
any boat that
rowing,
you
it's
row
a
on.
rowboat.
Yeah, technically.
If you have to row a fucking like a aircraft carrier, then technically it's a fucking rowboat.
Some kayaks are rowboats, but not all rowboats are kayaks. There you go. All right, we solved it. I don't know why we're still here. Bye.
I'm gonna go just run straight into the wall.